The core philosophy of grief. The grief for those who are left behind, the widow, the family, friends, but mainly the widow and the family. Well, it actually begins after the funeral is over. It's different. You see, during the time of the funeral and the preparation, it's busy. People are all around you. In a way, you're the center of attention. You need to stay upright, and there's a part of you that's not even present in the body. However, once the funeral is over, when you come home that night, whether you're on your own or whether there are other people with you, that is when the exhaustion starts. That is when the reality hits that they're actually not home with you. They haven't come back with you. You're there on your own. They've gone somewhere else. Their physical body's gone somewhere else. And the grief changes. The grief becomes a bit more of a reality. And you start learning how to functioning differently. Functioning now as a single person, not as a couple. Feeling the emptiness of the house, the emptiness of their smell. Often you still have the smell of the funeral that's there, the flowers, whatever smell is associated with those final days is still there, and sometimes that comes back to haunt you. So the grief changes. The grief will be one of coming out of that haze, coming out of that fog that you were in. And it's like stepping outside and that cold, freezing air hits your face. That's the reality that eventually starts to hit. They've gone. They've gone from this life. And this is where having a spirituality really helps, because if you believe in life after, then you know that you will see them again. But for now, it doesn't take away that agony of the fact that they're not here with you now. That grief, that first year, is one of the grief of losing your identity, of being a couple. The grief of knowing that the rest of your life you're on your own. How am I going to do this? The grief of what's just happened. You come out of the shock, you come out of that fog, that haze, that pain, that terror. And life is different. A life that you've never known for many, many years, if at all. How do I live it? How do I show up? How do I get out of bed? So it's about navigating that pain, the loneliness, the sadness, the highs and the lows. It means starting to take care of yourself physically, emotionally, spiritually, intellectually, professionally, if you've got a profession. It's about doing that. It's about not forgetting about you, that you are still here. It's about now being able to say, I am, and have a definition of who you are now. Because the thing is, you don't know who you are anymore in the world. You don't know what you're here for. Everything's different. Part of you has been kind of cut off and taken away. I only wish that I had a me now, back then. Even though I was resourced and I was strong, boy, I made some really bad decisions. I made decisions out of loneliness. I made decisions out of fear. The obsession with food and compulsive eating started coming back. And this happens for many. The addiction starts again, whether it be alcohol, drinking, drugs, spending, anything to run from the pain. You go there because that pain is too empty. So it's about navigating that grief, but also, over time, allowing yourself to start feeling joy, allowing yourself to start laughing again without feeling guilt, without having that survivor's guilt come up and grab you and take it away, without worrying what will people think. What will people think if they see me happy? What if they see me laughing? What if they see me starting to go out with friends and see me looking good? What will everyone think? having to navigate through that. How are you supposed to show up as a widow or widower? It's not something we're taught, right? It's about finding peace with your life now, being present with grief, being present with joy and happiness, and being able to integrate the two, welcoming the tsunamis of grief when they come and fear and everything else, but knowing that you'll get through it. It's about learning strategies on how to do that, though. Learning strategies on how to anticipate the pain and the grief, how to navigate through it, and then how to come out the other side. It's about all those firsts. If they died on the 12th will never be the same. If they died on a Tuesday, Tuesdays will never be the same. The first birthday, the first anniversary, and then that time of coming up to that first anniversary. It's about creating a ritual around it. Being okay to look forward to the ritual of their first anniversary. Celebrating them, celebrating their life. What can you do? Can you make it a ritual to finally move their clothing out of your home, to finally spread their ashes instead of hanging on? Because so often you want to so desperately hang on to that grief because you're scared to let it go. You're scared that you're going to forget them. You're scared that they're going to be gone from your memory if you stop that heavy grieving. It's not true, though. And would they want that for you? If the roles were reversed, would you want that for them, to be stuck in that darkness? It's about allowing yourself eventually to let go. It's about allowing yourself to start living and breathing and feeling joy and moving forward with your life. That first year is when you can start testing those waters, not trying to run from everything. I invite everyone to be present with it, no matter how dark it is, but that's where you get the help and the support. It's about also learning the practicalities of being on your own now, the practicalities of raising your children, the practicalities of other members of the family, learning how to integrate. The whole family dynamic is going to change. How does this family now deal with their feelings? Everyone's grief manifests differently. It shows up differently for every single family member. One may go full into addiction, one may go full into depression, another one may be into anger, another one may be in relationships, but you know what? Underneath it all is just sadness and grief. It's about identifying that and being open to getting the help to get through that, so that during that first year, you are able to process what is going to happen for you instead of letting it spread over 5, 6, 7, 10, 15 years, and in the process losing so much life, losing so much joy, losing your own health, losing lots of money to quick fix regimes, to predators who are out there, you name it. The first year is tough, but it is possible and it is manageable.